I need there to be no confusion, no distortion, no false narrative about the murder of George Floyd. And let's just get into that murder. A black man was murdered in broad daylight, in front of a camera, multiple cameras actually, in front of witnesses, while a police officer, a white police officer, had his knee on the man's neck, and two other police officers held him down as he was calling for his mama, saying that he could not breathe, asking for water. Could you please give me some water? Oh, please, sir, just let me up. Please let me up. And the officer sat there and waited. Not only did he do that, he sat on his neck for multiple minutes later, after the man had already stopped moving. He was non-responsive at that point. People are telling you there's blood coming out of his nose. He's urinated already. You can see the urine in the video. He's looking down. The police officer's looking down at him, ensuring that the man is dead, after making sure that he could see what exactly he did. And you know what else that police officer was doing? He kept repositioning himself so that he could be in a position to make sure that where his knee is, that it was lethal. Watch the video. His hands in his pocket wasn't just his callous, smug, thuggish behavior. It was also to make sure he could give himself leverage to put more pressure on the man's neck. That's what you saw in that video. And now all of a sudden, here comes these fake charges from the DA, who didn't want to charge him in the first place, which is very clear when you see the actual charges. In the charging document, he's literally making excuses for the police officer that murdered a man in cold blood that everybody saw, that happened in broad daylight, that has been transported all over the world now. The whole world has seen it. 3 days of rioting, 3 days of anger, 3 days of people burning it down, and the best you could come up with was third-degree murder and manslaughter? So basically what you're trying to tell us is that what we saw wasn't murder. What you're trying to tell us is what we saw is that he didn't intend for the man to die. When people were telling him, check his pulse, people were screaming to him, he's not breathing, he's not moving, and everything else. The man still didn't want to get his knee off his neck. When the paramedics came, they put their hands on his neck to check it for his pulse. The police officer still didn't want to take his stupid knee off his neck. He still kept his knee on. The paramedic had to move him so they could take that dead body, because the man was already deceased. There was no pulse when he was on that ground. They moved him onto a gurney so they could wheel his body off, so they could write the false report that they wrote out later on. The statement the Minneapolis Police Department gave right afterwards, where there was a medical incident, is totally contradictory to what we saw in that video. Totally contradictory. And had there not been a video, this would have been what they would have said happened. And this police officer would still be walking the streets and have the ability to kill more people. This man had 18 complaints against him. 18. And you allowed him to continue to roam the streets and police communities in which he clearly was racist against. So then you file these charges, these bogus charges, where you want us to believe that you're actually seeking justice. In the charging document, you are legitimately making excuses for this police officer. You were telling us that the medical examiner said that there might have been other substances, unknown substances in his body. Why would you even put that in the medical examination? What are those substances? Did you check for the substances? Tell us the names of those substances, since you want to speculate. What did you think? Because it's a black man, that you could just automatically say there were other substances and accuse him of drug use? And even if there were other substances, does that justify a man telling you he can't breathe and you continue to put your knee on his neck to restrict his airflow and to ensure that the man could not breathe? He told you over and over again, he's calling for his mama. He's begging for his life. He's saying, you are going to kill me. They're going to kill me. You decided you wanted to kill him. That was intentional. Don't give me this third-degree murder bullshit. Don't give it to me. And let me say something else to all these people who just keep complaining about this quote-unquote looting and they're rioting. This is not doing justice for George Floyd. He wouldn't want this. Oh my God, you guys, Martin Luther King doesn't want this either. Like, come on, man. We gotta, stay strong and be right. Shut your fucking mouth. Literally, legitimately, shut your mouth. What you are seeing is the manifestation of centuries of abuse by a system that has continued to oppress black people all over the globe. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing people who have no more fucks to give. You're seeing people who are dealing with so much rage and internal rage that has not been addressed, where people keep giving us lip service and symbolic gestures and pretending like they care and understand our plight, but they really don't care about our plight. They just want to suppress us and keep us contained. What you are seeing is a consequence of the behavior of these police departments and the consequences of behavior of that police officer. Don't blame it on anybody other than these police officers. Don't blame it on anybody other than the system. Don't ask us to make you feel comfortable anymore. We're not trying to make you feel comfortable. That ship has sailed. After George Floyd was murdered in broad daylight. Something, I don't know what it is, sparked all over the country where black people no longer said, I'm not afraid. I don't care anymore. I don't need to make you comfortable. Have you ever worried about whether or not you made black people feel comfortable? Did you ever have to worry about that? Why is it that we have to transform and conform ourselves in such a way to make you feel more comfortable about yourself, make you walk around more comfortable? If you're not comfortable, go seek a therapist. It's not my job to make you feel comfortable. There are multiple therapists out there. You can find one. Talk to him. Talk to Betty Sue. But don't come to us anymore and keep telling us that we need to make you feel comfortable. You've never been concerned about my comfort. Stop asking us to forgive and apologize and oh, do you forgive them? These people aren't even asking for apology. They haven't even, there's no contrition. And all of a sudden you're asking us, are you apologetic? Do you forgive? Just forgive him. Forgive him for what? So then the next person can do it again, and then the next person can do it again, and the next person again. Stop giving us this. Stop asking us to forgive. Do not ask us again to ever forgive. Stop it. Forgiveness, that ship too, has sailed. And then another thing too, you claiming that you're an ally and you're out there, Black Lives Matter. Say it, Black Lives Matter. Say his name. Say his name. Oh my God. I'm going to go to Twitter. I'm going to go to Instagram. I'm going to go all over my social media, Facebook, everything, and say Black Lives Matter. You have to say it too. And then let's just go party. You think that if you just say Black Lives Matter, that somehow all of a sudden you're absolved of all the things that you're absolved of all the things that are transpiring? You think that you have now actually done something that actually is going to manifest change in this country? Is that what you actually think? What does saying Black Lives Matter mean if we don't actually matter to the system? And Black Lives Matter without action is a meaningless symbolic gesture. It means nothing. We say his name. You want me to say his name? So then what happens? They stop policing our communities, brutalizing our communities, beating up black people, arresting black people for crimes they commit, killing black people. That's what's going to happen. We just keep saying their name. And what are we going to do? Bring them back to life after we say their name? Is that what you guys think is going to transpire? All the symbolism. And let's not get it twisted whatsoever. Let's stop acting like the Democrats are excluded from all the things that are transpiring. Where are these things happening? A lot of these major things that are happening. Think about all these major cases. Amadou Diallo, where did he get shot at? New York City. Freddie Gray, what happened to him? That was Baltimore. Laquan McDonald, that was Chicago. Minneapolis, this recent murder, George Floyd, Minneapolis. Philando Castile, Minneapolis. A lot of these high-profile cases are happening in democratic cities. So either you are a part of the problem or you're okay with the problem. Stop telling us that our lives matter and you don't do anything to take any action when you can take action. Stop acting like we should be happy because you have these token black people that sit there and are powerless. And you want to act like you're a party that's inclusive. And then all of a sudden we're supposed to vote for you when you haven't done anything to eradicate this issue. Yes, we are angry. Yes, we are. And we have changed. You have changed us now by this singular act right here. Changed the mentality of many black people. The liberation, the mental liberation that has occurred as a consequence of this, I think might be the only solace that I get from this is the mental liberation. You're mad because they're burning down buildings. Those buildings will recover. Is George Floyd going to come back? Don't ask us to tell people to stop burning. It is what you should care about is making sure that no life is ever taken again by the police in a senseless manner. That no racist police officer can continue to join the police department. Stop asking us to just walk around, Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace, stop the police, and all this other stuff. You think that's really going to work? You think that's going to change anything? When has that changed in decades? What has changed in decades? And stop telling us what Martin Luther King would do. You have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm tired of it. I'm not joining in anymore. I'm not allowing you guys anymore to control the way that we operate. I'm not changing myself for you. I'm not trying to make you feel comfortable. I don't care what's happening in Minneapolis. I don't care if they burn it all the way to the ground. That has nothing to do with me. That's not my problem. And they owe you nothing. All those people that are out there showing their rage, they owe you nothing. And to the white supremacists that keep on making these memes about the murder of George Floyd and the murder of Ahmaud Arbery and all these things that you're trying to do to traumatize us and inflict as much pain upon us because your life is so miserable. It's ineffective. It's not working anymore. I don't think you understand. You don't have that power. You are not going to be able to inflict psychological trauma upon us. Your memes and stuff like that, they don't mean anything to us anymore. We already immediately can see exactly who you are, and we keep it moving. We get back to business. So you can sit there in your cowardice behind some computer because you don't want the world to see you. You don't want anyone to know who you are because you're not very happy with yourself. You're insecure. You wish you were somebody else. And the only opportunity you get to be somebody else is when you sit behind a computer and pretend to be somebody else. You can continue doing that. But let me just tell you something. You are wasting your time with those memes, sending them to black people. We don't care. So I'm going to conclude this by saying this. What you saw on that video was a murder. I don't care what the charges say. I don't care what the police department is trying to do now. I don't care how the DA is trying to cover it up. I don't care how the whole entire system in Minneapolis is trying to cover it up. I don't care if they're trying to protect a police officer. You know what you saw. Don't let people tell you that your eyes are deceiving you. Demand justice. Don't just give us lip service. Don't give us that symbolism. Don't say Black Lives Matter. I really believe that. Go and prove it.